on to social issues, miscellaneous sections from social issues, defense, and history, art, and culture. Now, starting with social issues, NSSO releases findings of multiple indicator survey. Now, the National Survey Sample Survey Office, NSSO, has released the findings of multiple indicator survey. Now, about the multiple indicator survey, it was part of the 78th round of NSSO. Its objective is to collect information for developing estimates of some important sustainable development goals and indicators and on migration, so SDG and migration. Now, for drinking water, less than a quarter of rural households, that is less than 25%, and under 2/3 of urban population, that is 66%, reported having piped water for drinking in their house or yard. The proportion varied from 90% in Goa to less than 6% in Assam. Now, Odisha has the largest share of residences having drinking water sources located outside of their premises. Now, access to toilet, about 70% of the rural households reported having exclusive access to a toilet, while 21.3% reported having no access to a toilet exclusively or otherwise. Now, persons in debt in India, over 15,000 persons per lakh were indebted to some institutional or non-institutional agency as of 2021. Andhra Pradesh had the highest number of indebted persons per 1 lakh, that was 46,330. So, percentage of women not in education was highest in UP and Lakshadweep. Lowest in Mizoram at 4.7%, and India's total average was 43.8%. Whereas households with piped water connections, India's average was 35.5%, with Delhi, Puducherry and Goa having good performance in this section. Moving on. State of World Report 2023, India's Demographic Dividend. Now, the UN Population Fund has released the State of World Population Report 2023. Key findings of the report: the population of the world is 8.04 billion. East and Southeast Asia is the most populous region, followed by Central and Southern Asia. India and China are the most populous countries with 1.428 billion and 1.423 billion people respectively. So India at 1.4286 and China at 1.42.57, United States at 34, then is Indonesia at 27.75, then is Pakistan at 24. Moving on, India now has 1,428,000,000 people and is the most populous country in the world. India's population will grow in a decelerated mode until 2064. After that, it will begin to reduce. The peak of India's population is expected to be 169 crore in 2063. At present, 68% of India's population belong to 15 to 64 years category, making India one of the youngest country in the world. Now, Prohibition of E-Cigarettes Act 2019. The Union Health Ministry has issued a public notice for stricter implementation of Prohibition of Electronic Cigarettes Act 2019. The Prohibition of Electronic Cigarettes Production, Manufacture, Import, Export, Transport, Sale, Distribution, Storage and Advertisement Act came into force in 2019 itself. The Act defined electronic cigarettes as electronic devices that heat a substance which may or may not contain nicotine, other chemicals, to create vapors for inhalation. These e-cigarettes can contain different flavors, include all forms of electronic nicotine delivery system, heat not burn products, e-hookahs and other similar devices. Now, Global Slavery Index, it was released by Walk Free, a human rights organization. Now, modern slavery, it refers to a situation of exploitation that a person cannot refuse or leave because of threats, violence, coercion, deception, or abuse of power. Now, key findings of the report: approximately 5 crore people, that is 50 million people, were living in modern slavery in 2021, an increase of 10 million since 2016. Highest number, that is in absolute numbers, people living in slavery was in India, then China, North Korea, and Pakistan. Now, moving on to the security section. Pralay missile. Indian Armed Forces plan to acquire around 250 more units of Pralay ballistic missile. Pralay is a quasi-ballistic surface-to-surface missile. The missile has been developed to defeat interceptor missiles as it has the ability to change its path mid-air. The missile can hit a target approximately 150 to 500 kilometers away. The missile is powered by a solid propellant rocket motor. Like most tactical ballistic missile, it is mobile, which means it can be used quickly on the battlefield. Now about the missile, Pralay surface-to-surface air missile. Pralay is a canister tactical surface-to-surface and short-range ballistic missile for battlefield use, developed by DRDO. Now, it has a two-stage rocket motor with the third stage MARV. Now it can go up to a speed of 1 Mach to 1.6 Mach and has a range of 150 to 500 kilometers. Trajectory is low, which means close to the ground, hugging the ground. Guidance system is inertial navigation system. Launch platform is 8x8 BEML Tatra Transporter Erector Launcher. Mass is 5 tons, that is 4.9 long tons and 5.5 short tons. Operational range is 150 to 500 kilometers. So this is for long range and this is for short range. 5.5 is for short range and 4.9 is for long range. Now, a speciality is that it can change its path after covering a certain range mid-air, and it is difficult to be tracked because it is low in trajectory. It is capable of being launched from a mobile launcher and has latest navigational system and integrated avionics. It has the capability to defeat interceptor missiles. Now moving on to Predator UAVs. Defense Acquisition Council has approved the procurement of armed Predator unmanned aerial vehicles from the US. MQ-9 Reaper, also known as Predator B, is capable of remotely controlled or autonomous flight operations. These are Halina, that is high altitude long endurance drones. It is remotely operated by a 2-person team consisting of a pilot and an air crew member who operates sensors and guides the weapon. The US uses MQ-9 Reapers for both surveillance and strikes. It has an endurance of over 27 hours and can operate up to 5,000 feet in height. Now, India Ransomware Report 2022 CERT, that is Computer Emergency Response Team, has released the India Ransomware Report of 2022. Ransomware is a category of malware that gains access to systems and makes them unusable to its legitimate user, either by encrypting files on the system or locking the system screen unless a ransom is paid. Now, ransomware incidents, there was a 53% increase in the ransomware incidents in 2022 compared to 2021. Sectors most impacted was IT/ITES sector and then followed by finance and manufacturing. Now this is a flowchart of operation of a ransomware. Initial access by a doorway. Now network reconnaissance, persistence, privilege escalation, lateral movement, that is across the system, soft shadow copy deletion, backup destruction and data exfiltration. So these are the standard operating procedure of the ransomware. And then there is encryption. So backup is first deleted and then all the remaining files are encrypted, and then it publishes data leak to leak sites. If ransom is not paid, DDoS attacks. Now Agni Prime missiles. India has successfully carried out night launch of a new generation nuclear capable ballistic missile called Agni Prime from Abdul Kalam Island off the coast of Odisha. Agni Prime is a new generation nuclear capable surface to surface ballistic missile. The range of the missile is approximately 1000 to 2000 kilometers. The missile is a 2-stage canister solid propellant ballistic missile with dual redundant navigation and guidance system. Canisterization of missile reduces the time required to launch the missile while improving storage and ease of handling. And redundancies involve introduction of extra components on principle. If one functionality suffers a failure, then backup feature would still enable the objective to be achieved. Now, some of the exercises by India in news. Samudra Shakti was between India and Indonesia. COPE India was between Indian Air Force and United States Air Force. Sinlex was between India and Sri Lanka. Al Muhammad Al Hindi was between the Indian Navy and Royal Saudi Naval Forces. Ex Khan Quest 2023 multinational peacekeeping joint exercise held in Mongolia. India participated in this. Exercise Ekant Ekta Ekta between India and Maldives. Ecovirin between Indian Army and Maldives National Defense Force. Ecovirin. Cool. Moving on. Regarding Fatah, Iran unveiled its first domestically made hypersonic missile named Fatah, having a target range of 1,400 kilometers. A hypersonic missile refers to a type of weapon that travels at a speed that exceeds 5 times the speed of sound, typically exceeding Mach 5 or approximately 6,174 kilometers per hour. So it will be able to cover the diameter of Earth in approximately 2 hours. World Military Expenditure CPRI report. India was the world's fourth largest defense spender in 2022 as per the report by Swedish think tank Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, that is CPRI for short. The top 5 contributors of global military spending in 2022 were United States, China, Russia, followed by India and Saudi Arabia, collectively representing 63% of the world's military expenditure. Now, thermobaric weapons, also known as aerosol weapons or aerosol bombs, fuel air explosives or vacuum bombs, uses oxygen from the air for large high temperature blast. A thermobaric weapon causes significantly greater devastation than a conventional bomb of a comparable size. Thermobaric weapons are not prohibited by any international law or agreement, but their use against civilian population in built-up areas, schools or hospitals could attract action under the Hague Convention of 1899 and 1907. Moving on to the history section, history, art and culture. First reference is to the Chola kingdoms. A rare bronze idol of Lord Hanuman has been retrieved by Tamil Nadu police. It was stolen from a Chola era temple in Ariyalur district a decade ago and auctioned in Australia. Now about important rulers of Chola Empire. Vijayalya. Now Chola Empire was founded by Vijayalya. He took over the Tanjore kingdom in the 8th century and led to the rise of the mighty Cholas by defeating the Pallavas. Tanjore was made the first capital of the Chola Empire. Then is Rajendra Chola. He succeeded Raja Raj Chola. Rajendra I was the first to venture on the banks of Ganga. He was popularly called the victor of Ganga. The new capital of empire was called Gangai Konda Cholapuram. And he received the title of Gangai Konda. This period is referred as the golden period of Cholas. Now about the administration and governance under the Chola kingdom was divided into provinces which were called mandalams. Separate governors were held in charge for each mandalam. Mandalams was further divided into districts called nadus. So these are districts, nadus are districts, which consisted of tehsils. Each village acted as a self-governing unit. Now Uttar Meru inscription and democracy in ancient India. The Prime Minister of India has referred to the Uttar Meru inscription in Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu while discussing India's democratic history. Now, Uttar Meru lies in the present-day Kanchipuram district in Tamil Nadu. It is known for its historic temple built under Pallavas and Chola rulers. The famous inscription from Prantaka I's reign is found on the walls of Vaikunda Perumal temple. Now, about the Uttar Meru inscription, the inscription gives the detail of functioning of local sabhas, that is village assemblies. A sabha was an assembly exclusively of Brahmins and has specialized committees tasked with different things. The inscriptions provide details regarding the selection process, qualifications, roles and responsibilities, and the conditions of removals, etc. Qualifications included ownership of a certain amount of land, house, and being between the age of 35 and 70, knowing mantras and brahmanas. The inscription lists several factors which disqualify someone of their family, like not having submitted accounts while previously serving on a committee, and their families. So family is also disqualified. Communities, any of the first four great of the five great sins, which are killing a Brahman, drinking alcohol, theft, and adultery, being associated with outcast and eating forbidden dishes like beef, etc. Now, Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar program for National Mission on Cultural Mapping documents distinctive features of more than 1 lakh villages across India. Now, it is a mission to map rural India's cultural assets. It is being carried out under the National Mission for Cultural Mapping. The survey seeks to document the cultural identity at village level by involving citizens to share what makes their village, block, or district unique. The Ministry of Culture has partnered with Common Service Centers under the Ministry of Electronics and IT, that is METI, for this program. Some of the famous villages: Raini in Uttarakhand is famous for Chipko movement. Modhera in Gujarat is famous as the first solar-powered village in India. Pandretan in Kashmir is the village of Shaivite mystic Lal Ded. Now, Hemis and Tikse Monastery. Delegates from G20 countries visited the Hemis and Tikse monasteries in Ladakh. Now, about the Hemis Monastery, it is a Buddhist monastery, Gumpa, located approximately 45 kilometers from Leh in Ladakh. It is situated on the western bank of Indus River. It belongs to the Red Hat sect or Drukpa lineage of Buddhism. Now, about Tikse Monastery, it is located in Tikse in Ladakh. The monastery is affiliated with Gelugpa's sect or Yellow Hat sect of Tibetan Buddhism. The Maitri temple is one of the most popular attraction in the monastery. The temple houses a tall statue of Maitri Buddha, that is the future Buddha. Now, Shila Bhatrika, researchers have decoded ancient inscriptions that have revealed information about the celebrated Sanskrit poetess Shila Bhatrika. Shila Bhatrika was an ancient Sanskrit poetess. She is considered as a leading figure of the Panchali literary style, which maintains a balance between words and meaning. According to Sanskrit poet Raj Shekhara in 9th century, the Panchali style can be traced to the works of Shila Bhatrika. He has placed her at par with Banabhatta, the court poet of Harsha. Now, about Pulkishen. Pulkishen too was the most important ruler of the Chalukyan dynasty, so she has been connected as a daughter of Pulkishen too. Pulkishen too was the most famous ruler of Chalukya dynasty of Vatapi, that is present-day Badami. He ruled from 610 to 642 Common Era. He defeated Harshavardhan of Kannauj in a battle near the banks of Narmada River in 618 CE. So just after 8 years of ascending throne, he was able to defeat Harshavardhana. Badami Chalukyan rulers affixed the title of Satyaraya, that is translated as patrons of truth, to their names, and the only ruler to be known purely by this title was Pulkishen II. Researchers have found through inscription that Shila Bhatrika was a daughter of Chalukyan Emperor Pulkishen II of the Badami in the modern day Karnataka. Now, Raja Ravi Varman, 1948 to 1906, 175th birth anniversary of Raja Ravi Varma was celebrated recently. He was born in Travancore, that is Kerala, and was patronized by Aliam Thirunal, the then ruler of Travancore. He is known as the father of modern art, Indian art. Viceroy Lord Curzon has honored him with the title of Kaisar-e-Hind Gold Medal for his services in the furtherance of public interest. He is remembered for giving Indians their Western classical representation of Hindu gods and goddesses. Famous works include Damayanti talking to a swan, Shakuntala looking for Dushyant, Nayar lady adorning her hair, and Shantanu and Matsyagandha. Now, GI tags. Himachal Pradesh Kangra tea has received a European Commission's protected geographical indication tag. Nagri Dubraj rice of Chhattisgarh has also received the same. Not the same, just a GI tag. Mircha rice of Bihar's West Champaran. Gond painting, Madhya Pradesh. Basoli paintings from Khatua district in Jammu. Basoli is from Khatua in Jammu. Mana Madhuri poetry from Tamil Nadu. So pottery from Tamil Nadu. Mana Madurai. Now, about GI. GI or GI is used on products that have a specific geographical origin and possesses the quality or a reputation that is due to that origin. To be eligible for a GI tag, a product must have specific geographical origin and its unique qualities must be due to that origin. Geographical indications are part of the intellectual property rights. They are registered for 10 years and can be renewed. They are awarded by Controller General of Patents, Design and Trademarks of India. It is administered by Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act of 1999. Now to the point, Bagh print. Bagh print in Madhya Pradesh is specialized form of wooden hand block printing originally practiced across regions in Indus Valley. Bagh print consists of weaving and hand block printing process and is associated with geometric designs, imaginative use of red, black, natural colors. Both cotton and silk clothes are used. The design are patterned by skilled artisans. They are created by using natural dyes which are eco-friendly and non-hazardous. Now, Tungnath Temple, it is in Rudraprayag districts of Uttarakhand. It is an ancient Shivalaya located at one of the highest points above sea level in Asia. It is one of the Panch Kendras and is believed to have belonged to an ancient area almost 1000 years old. It is built in the North Indian style of architecture and has a dozen shrines of other gods surrounding the temple. It is believed to have been discovered by Adi Shankaracharya. That'll be all for this video. Thank you.